For today's headlines, Panelo vouches for work-from-home setup and 4-day workweek. Matibag ensures Duterte legacy. Sara top-performing local official. DepEd to beef up K-12 sci-tech education. Dingalan tourism gets huge boost. Slain mayor's family cries for justice. UP targets tune-up versus Salle. Zelensky drops NATO membership plan. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and this is Tribune News on Q. Today is March 10, 2022, and these are the latest news of this Chile Today morning. Senatorial aspirant Salvador Panelo vouched for work-from-home arrangements as an effective lift for workers feeling the pinch of the continuing increases in fuel prices. While the minimum fare for public utility vehicles stays at 9 pesos for the first 4 kilometers, pump prices increased for the 10th straight week on Tuesday. Effective from March 8 to 14, motorists will have to shell out an additional 5.85 pesos per liter of diesel, 3.60 per liter of gasoline, and 4.10 pesos for every liter of kerosene. The market disruption caused by the Russia-Ukraine war was worsened by higher market premiums and a higher price of cocoa methyl ester for diesel. He called on the private sector to help, including the implementation of work from home and a 4-day workweek. Panelo, a former presidential legal counsel and also spokesperson, on Tuesday said President Rodrigo Duterte approved a 3 billion pesos fuel subsidy to alleviate the burden on oil price increases. Panelo said he disclosed that Malacanang and has asked the Congress to review the oil deregulation law. But he, however, said that there are ways to lessen the price hikes' impact on the workers. He called on the private sector to help, including the implementation of work from home and a 4-day workweek. Newly appointed Cabinet Secretary Melvin Matibag would not only serve for a little over 3 months, but he has got his priorities straight, help cement President Rodrigo Duterte's legacy, and ensure the smooth transition of power when the chief executive steps down from Malacanang. Matibag took his oath of office before Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea at the guest house in Malacanang on Wednesday morning. He is the third cabinet secretary under the Duterte administration, and the post was previously held by Leoncio Evasco and Carlo Noglares, who was appointed this week as chairperson of the Civil Service Commission. Matibag admitted that his appointment came as a surprise even for him, pointing out that the President Duterte's 6-year term ends in June. This also means that his stint as cabinet secretary would be short-lived, since the next chief executive has the free hand to appoint another set of cabinet members. Despite his short-lived stint at the cabinet, Matibag said his role would be important to ensure that the important policy issues of President Duterte are acted upon and the Duterte legacy is properly established. Front-running vice presidential candidate Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte emerged as the top-performing local chief executive, along with several others, in a recent independent survey. RP Mission and Development Foundation Incorporated, or the RPMD, a nonpartisan research group, conducted the survey wherein the Philippines' distinguished performing officials, where these names are included Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte, Congresswoman Camille Villar, and Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia. Mayor Sara Duterte of Region 11, Davao Region, took the lead as the Philippines' top city mayor with 98% rating, followed by Mayor Benjamin Magalong of Baguio City, earned 86%, Mayor Beverly de Macuha of Batangas City bagged 84%, Mayor Jerry Treñas of Iloilo City received 81%, and Mayor Gerard Anthony Gilles Jr. of Talisay City garnered 80%. Belmonte of Quezon City achieved the highest performance rating among Metro Manila mayors with an 81% rating, trailed by Isko Moreno of Manila with 80%, Toby Chanco of Navotas with 78%, Vico Soto of Pasig with 77%, and Oka Malapitan of Caloocan with 75% mark. Congresswoman Camille Villar of Las Piñas leads the district representatives in the National Capital Region with 88%, and Gwen Garcia of Cebu Province secured 83% among governors. Ratings and rankings are comprehensively examined based on the work performance, and these public officials who performed well in constituent service and service to the country should be congratulated and commended for their exceptional performance, according to RPMD's Dr. Paul Martinez. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Ayon sa World Bank, tinatayang 4.8 hanggang 12.7 milyong toneladang plastik ang sumisira sa ating karagatan taon-taon. Halos 80% nito ang nanggagaling sa Asya. Sa buong mundo, ang Pilipinas ay itinuturing na pangatlong pinakamalaking nagdudulot ng polusyon sa karagatan. Ang nakalalasong kemikal mula sa plastik ay di lamang kumukontamina sa karagatan, ngunit pati na rin sa hanging nilalanghap at lupang ginagalawan natin. Kung magpapatuloy ang kasalukuyang paggamit ng single-use plastics, sa taong 2050, mas marami na ang plastic kumpara sa mga isda na nasa ating mga karagatan. Dahil dito, mas pinaiigting ng pamahalaan ang kampanya laban sa paggamit ng single-use plastics. Nanganganib ang ating planeta. Iisa lang ito. Lahat tayo ay dapat kumilos sa lalong madaling panahon upang pangalagaan ito. Tama na ang plastikan.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Vaccination, isolation, gotta keep up with my nutrition, gotta maintain my body condition, then I can take my vaccination. What do I choose? What do I take? As long as it is not a fake. AstraZeneca, Moderna, BioNTech, even Sinovac, okay na. Babakuna ka ba, 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 babakuna ka ba. Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, babakuna ka ba, 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 paturok, paturok, paturok.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Globe, our steps can lead us to millions of doors opening, millions of paths unfolding, and millions of reasons to keep going. Now's the time to be with a network that gets better every day for you.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
are back on Tribune News on Q. Department of Education Secretary Leonor Briones recently acknowledged the need to improve teaching science and technology in basic education to prepare Filipino learners for the challenges of the future. Briones said that with or without the pandemic, we will be faced with the challenge of catching up with technology, science, and many more innovations that will change our lives. It is a challenge to them in basic education to prepare the learners and ensure that they master the basics of science and technology. The DepEd Secretary also made the call to capacitate learners on skills required for future jobs while still incorporating Filipino values and culture. Meantime, Undersecretary for Administration Alain Del Pascua highlighted DepEd comments as a step of the agency towards digitization and teaching upskilling. Pascua said that even before the pandemic, they have already started the digital transformation in the Department of Education. This pandemic made them realize that there are still other technologies that we need to use, and it also made them hasten the digitization of education in the public sector. The Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, is mulling to kick off road projects for 3 coastal barangays in Dingalan, Aurora that have been considered as major tourist destinations. This as the municipal government aims to boost the tourism industry in the province. DPWH Aurora District Engineer Roderick Andal identified the barangays as Ibona, Matawe, and Paltic, and noted that the proposed access roads will allow easier travel for tourists and speed up the transportation of agri-aqua products to Aurora's major markets and the neighboring province of Nueva Ecija. He added that renowned tourist spots such as the Matawe Beach and rock formations, Paltic Beach and Dingalan Lighthouse, Lactas Falls and Abungan Falls are found in the barangays, citing that the national government allotted 29.64 million pesos for these road projects. The 3 road concreting projects are funded under the FY 2022 General Appropriations Act. Meanwhile, the family and supporters of former Calbayog City Mayor Ronald Aquino continue to seek justice 1 year after he was brutally killed. Mark Aquino, the eldest son of the slain mayor, lamented that they are still waiting for justice to be served for the slay of his father. He said that there were 39 bullets that entered the body of his father, 6 in the head and 33 in other parts of his body. Aquino said it was very brutal, inhuman, and there was a murderous intent of the killers. Meantime, retired Colonel Emil Zosa, a childhood friend and a close political ally of the slain mayor, said the friends and family of the slain mayor will continue to seek justice until the masterminds are identified and jailed. To recall Aquino, his security aide, Staff Sergeant Rodeo Sario, driver Dennis Abayon, and passerby Clint John Paul Yoder were all killed in the ambush in Labuyao Bridge on March 8 last year. The suspects were identified based on an independent investigation conducted by the National Bureau of Investigation and have already surrendered to the authorities and are presently detained while awaiting for the start of the trial. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
Pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayad.
Viber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
You are still watching Tribune News on Q. The University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons would like to face the Salle Green Archers in one of the tune-up games they are scheduling ahead of Season 84 of the University Athletic Association of the Philippines, or UAAP, that kicks off on March 26. UP coach Goldwyn Monteverde, however, said they will ask permission first and ensure the health and safety of the teams. The National Capital Region is currently under Alert Level 1 that allows 100% capacity in game venues. The UAAP, however, will still keep the men's basketball tournament under a bubble format to curb transmission of the coronavirus.
Message from President Vladimir Putin broadcast.
We have Russian forces coming in from the south Atlantic.
A potentially devastating war in Ukraine is just
With no direct military intervention expected from his allies, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said he is no longer pressing for North Atlantic Treaty Organization or NATO membership for his country. Ukraine's earlier appeal for NATO membership was a delicate issue that was one of Russia's stated reasons for invading its pro-Western neighbor. In another apparent nod aimed at placating Moscow, Zelensky said he is open to compromise on the status of two breakaway pro-Russian territories that President Vladimir Putin recognized as independent just before unleashing the invasion on February 24. Referring to NATO membership, Zelensky said through an interpreter that he does not want to be president of a country which is begging something on its knees. Russia has said it does not want neighboring Ukraine to join NATO, the transatlantic alliance created at the start of the Cold War to protect Europe from the Soviet Union. In more recent years, the alliance has expanded further and further east to take in former Soviet bloc countries, which infuriated the Kremlin. Russia sees NATO enlargement as a threat as it does the military posture of these new Western allies on its doorstep. And that wraps up the stories this morning, but before we go, we would like to thank the following: SM Store, Araneta City, Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, Empire Eastland Holdings Incorporated, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista on Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.